Welcome back to Hawks DIY. I'm Chuck and I've got another project, well, several projects today. I'll be back on the 2014 Nissan Frontier. I hope you enjoyed my previous video on the transmission filter change. It was pretty eventful to say the least, but everything's good with that. I got the fluids topped off and took it for a spin. Everything's shifting really smooth, so we're good to go there. But today I've got several things that I need to get started on. Number one, this thing needs a bath, so I need to go through Mr. Car Wash, and you can see the hood, looky here, how it's really dirty. So we'll be doing that. I want to get on these wheels too and try some of that super clean wheel cleaner. And we're gonna put a new cabin air filter in the truck. And lastly, we're going to work on the rear differential, and we're gonna check the gear oil in it. I'll probably go ahead and swap out gear oil on the differential. That hasn't been done, so we got several things going on, and I guess it's time to get busy. All right, well, the first thing we need to do is address this antenna, because if I'm going through a automatic car wash, I don't want this thing dangling around, you know what I mean? So you just take a crescent wrench here and you loosen it up, and then you just twist her on out of there, and well, it's easier said than done. Twist at the bottom a little easier. But we'll get rid of this, and then that way, once I get to the car wash, won't have to deal with it. Because the lines can get pretty long at the car wash. So we'll go ahead and throw that in the back seat. And we'll have that out of the way. Now, another thing I like to do when I go through the car wash is when I get there, I'll bend those mirrors back like that, and that also helps keep it from getting damaged or hung up or whatever. So anyway, let's get to the Mr. Car Wash, I guess. All right, folks, we're in the car wash. Got all my windows up, I think. No, I don't, actually. There we go. So, get this baby cleaned up. Got my mirrors in, so that's good. So, man, I need to turn the AC on. It's hot. Duh, it's July, you know. Yeah, you can smell that dingy smell coming from the AC. That's why I want to change the cabin air filter. But yeah, she's gonna get her cleaned up, and then we'll take a gander at her here in a minute. This is where I always go to get my truck cleaned, so be glad to get this done. Doesn't take long. That summer grind take a toll on a vehicle, let me tell you. All right, we're almost out of here. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. Now it's time to get out of here. All right, find us a stall over here. It's not too busy today, so that's a good thing. Probably should have parked over there. They got some shade over there. So let's go ahead and check it out. Yeah, she got her clean. Look down here, look how clean it is down here. So I'll get my mirrors put back in place. Look at the hood. Now I'll have to clean all this. It didn't get down in there, which is kind of a bummer, but that's all right. It's because of this visor, it kind of hides behind the visor. Our bug grill visor. Jeez, get it together. All right, let's go ahead and put this antenna back on, and we'll have this part of it done. And I guess the next stop is O'Reilly's. I need to get the cabin air filter and I need to get the gear oil. So that's going to be our next stop. So let me tighten that down and we'll get out of here. But it's a hot day. It's supposed to be a heat index of, I think, what in the world is going on? This thing's not wanting to tighten down. There it goes. Finally. There we go. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleaning, obviously. But it gets the bulk of it off of there. Obviously, it doesn't get all the brake dust off either. You can see it on the front. So, anyway, let's head over to O'Reilly and get the stuff we need. All right, guys, gals, just got out of O'Reilly's. And I got the cabin air filters and I got the gear oil, so we're ready to go. Boy, it's hot. It's supposed to be a heat index of I think a 106, I think, something like that. So it's gonna be hot. I'm gonna head back to the house and get me some lunch. So we'll see you then. All right, guys, gals, just had me some buffalo chicken wings with some green beans. It's pretty good lunch. So I come out here and was trying to decide on what I wanted to start on next. And I come out here to pull my tailgate down, and look at here. I forgot it's jammed. So that'll be another project for another day. So I tell you what, they just rear their head every time you turn around. It's always something. But anyway, let me show you where the cabin air filter is located. So it's behind the glove box, and you'll have a tab on each side. And maybe I can take the flashlight and show you. There's a tab there, and then there's a tab over here. And so you're just gonna push that in, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it and hold the camera, but I'll sure try. So you just push in like that and just let it fall. It's got a string that holds it up. You'll see it right here. There's a string right here. But there's the filter is located right over here. And you'll see right above that filter there's a tab. And you just push that tab up, and then the door will swing open. And I don't know if I could do it holding the camera, but it's just basically, yeah, I could probably do it actually. But you got to be careful and not break that tab. There it goes. So, whoa. And you know what? There's not even a cabin air filter in this thing. Can you believe that? Wow, no wonder it had a dingy smell. Boy, I tell you what, things you find out.
What's going on?
It doesn't even have a cabin air filter in it. They didn't even install one.
Then at the factory or wherever
Yeah, I bought this thing. It only had 750 miles when I bought it.
Where's it go at? Oh, right there.
Yeah.
And there ain't one in it, huh?
No. Completely
well, that's just a bunch of hooey.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, guys? I bought this thing. It had, I think it only had about 750 miles on it. 1,000 maybe. So they didn't install cabin air filters in this thing. So anyway, good thing I got them, I guess, huh? So no wonder it was starting to get a dingy smell. But we'll get these put in. I'll show you how to do that here in a second. All right, guys, I got the filters, and I'm going to, I already looked inside there. There wasn't any debris up in there, which was good. So, but here's the filters. And here's something else I was wanting to tell you. It says on the back, it says, recommended replacement every year or 15,000 miles will remove interior materials, tobacco smoke, dirt, dust, and pollen, and incoming particulates and gases. So, anyway, so basically I've had no filter, so it's just been wide open. So let's get the filters out, and then I'll have to run and go get some scissors or something to cut. Well, they'll probably just break open. Yeah, they will. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to write on the side the date. That way I'll know the date that these were changed. And that way I'll have it notated. Actually, do they already have them dated? Hey, I like that. Made in the USA. So yeah, I'm just gonna write on here real fast. Today's July 15th. So, okay, now to install these, I'll go ahead and install that one. You install them with the airflow arrow pointing down. So we're going to get the first one in here. And it's kind of tricky, but then you want to push that one over, and I may have to get like a magnet extender or something to help push that other side over. Let me go get that real fast. All right, guys, I'm borrowing Jeff's little extended magnet that'll allow me to get to the back and to scoot the first filter over to the right, because they're going to sit in there side by side. So this long piece here will allow me to get to the back of the filter to scoot it over. So we're gonna get that scooted over, hopefully. It's kind of being stubborn. I don't know what it's hitting. There it goes. So let's get the back again. There it goes. Hopefully, I don't know if that's far enough. Doesn't look like it's far enough. It must be hitting something. Let me try a little further. Yeah, that's as far over as it's gonna go. So let's see if the other one will fit. Remember, the airflow should be down. I guess you probably just need to squeeze the bottom to fit it in there. This is kind of a pain, guys. Oh. I'm hoping that's over all the way. I don't want to squeeze this too much. There it went. There we go, guys. She's going in there now. All right, so I got both filters in. And then the door just clicks in. It's got 2 tabs on the bottom. You put them in those tabs. Can't really see. Probably be better if I did this. Put the flashlight down. Of course, it's probably blocking your view, ain't it? But anyway, so, and remember, you got to push up on that tab, and it should click in place. There it goes. All right, so that's all there is to that. No big deal. So then you just put your rope back on here. I had to take it off. Okay, that's on, and then you just squeeze this, and it's done. Cabin air filters installed. All right, everybody, since I got the air filters put in, cabin air filters, I figured there's only a few more hours in the day. About 5 o'clock, 5:30, these mosquitoes get out, and it gets pretty bad. So I figured I better utilize my time. So I think it's time to check out this Super Clean all-wheel cleaner, and let's try it out on this on these tires. We'll come up here and we'll see how it does. You can see how I went to Mr. Car Wash, the automatic car wash, and I use the Platinum service, which I think it's around $22, but you can see how I didn't get all the brake dust. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this wheel cleaner on it, and we'll just see how it does. All right, guys and gals, I got the water hose out. I got me some gloves on. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to wet down the rim. You don't need much, just wet it down. And then we're going to take the Super Clean, and I want to give a shout out to Super Clean. They sent me this stuff to try out. I really appreciate it. So they sent me some free stuff, and So let's see how this stuff works. But I'm just gonna put a light coating on the rim, especially around the perimeter where that brake dust accumulates, you know. All right, so we're just gonna let that eat and do its thing, and we'll come back. It says about 30 seconds, so I guess this would be a good time to ask you to like and subscribe if you like this content. It really helps out the channel, and really appreciate it. But we're gonna let this sit and eat for a few more seconds here, and then we'll rinse it off, and we'll use a soft cloth and wipe it down. So that's pretty much the protocol on that. So let's go ahead and get our towel ready here. Let's say it's been pretty close to 30 seconds, don't you? So let's rinse this dude off. It looks like works pretty good. You know, hopefully that brake dust will just wipe off with the towel. Looks like that's probably how it works. So, oh yeah, look at that, guys. It just wipes it off completely. Wow, that's some pretty good stuff. Yeah, go get you some of Super Clean's wheel cleaner. It's really good stuff. Wow. Thanks, Super Clean, for sending this to me. See, before I used to use Armor All cleaning wipes, and I just wipe the rims down, but this is a lot faster, I think, and does a really good job. See how it just wipes up that brake dust? Wow. You could do all your wheels pretty quick with this stuff. You know, pretty neat. I can dig it. But yeah, I'll wipe the rest of this down, and then we'll have this one done. But yeah, you can get that Super Clean. You can get that at a lot of retail locations. So, you know, keep your eye out for it. This stuff works. It definitely works. You know, that's the main thing. And you know, on this truck, the front always, and pretty much every vehicle's the same way, but they usually have more brake dust on the front, because most vehicles have disc brakes on the front. So anyway, check that out, guys. That looks pretty good. I think I got pretty much everything. Yeah, that looks good, guys. Yeah. So yeah, Super Clean all wheel cleaner does a great job. Go get you some, guys. Well, hey everybody. Well, it's the next day, and man, let me tell you what, it's hot. The day kind of got away from me. I'm getting a late start, but man, it's hot out here. We had a thunderstorm this morning, and so now it's real muggy and humid. It's so hot, I saw a bird try to pick up a worm with a pot holder. That's how hot it is. No, I didn't see that. But it gives you an idea how hot it is. So we're gonna get started on this differential back here. And I just decided I'd start working on that next, because I can be under this little pavilion here, be out of the sunlight. So we'll do that, and I need to get the rug laid down and get everything in place, and we'll get started. All right, guys and gals, we're going to get started. I wanted to show you something real fast. So this is going to be where we're going to be working, and right there is the differential. But I'm going to go ahead and get this spare tire out of the way, because whenever I get ready to put new gear oil in, it'll be a lot easier if this isn't in my way. So in order to do that, Nissan has got, with the tire jack, they give you these rods, and all you do is you just turn it, and then it'll lower the tire on down to the ground. You can see it down here starting to lower. See how it's lowered? So I'm going to get this the rest of the way, and we'll get this tire out of the way. It'll make it a lot easier to work. So that's the plan. All right, I got the spare tire out from underneath the truck, and so here's what we're looking at. So I'm just going to leave this chain hanging there, but that's what we're looking at. And also I wanted to show you, look at there, no leakages up there on the transmission. Now there is a puddle up there from the AC, but that's normal. But anyway, so here's your differential, and this is actually the drain, and then you're going to have the, actually this is the refill, I'm sorry, and then this is your drain right here. So the first thing we're going to do is get this plug out first. That way, you know, we don't want to be in a situation where we take the bottom plug out and all the fluid comes out, and then we turn around and we can't get this plug out. Well, then we're up the creek without a paddle. So that's the deal. So let's get started. All right, guys, we're going to be in a holding pattern till in the morning, unfortunately. Let me show you what's going on. I've got everything I need except for one hex socket. And so I've got this one, and this is for the actual drain, and it's a 10 millimeter. But the refill requires a 14 millimeter, and I don't have one. So it's all right, it's going on 4 o'clock. I'm not getting stuck in rush hour traffic, so I'm just gonna wait till in the morning, go get me a 14 mil, and we'll get started tomorrow. So unfortunately, I just don't have everything I need to get it done, so we'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys and gals. Well, it's the next day, about 10:30 in the morning. It's already hotter than a firecracker. But I went to O'Reilly's this morning. It said online they had that hex socket, that 14 millimeter. Well, I go over there, they don't have it. I get a clerk to help me, he couldn't find it. So then I asked him, I said, hey, can you get online and see if you have that in stock at another location? And specifically a location a few miles down the road from my local store. So he looks it up, tells me, he says, hey, there's 3 there. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll drive over there and get it. Well, I get over there, and same thing. I'm like, what the heck's going on? So, long story short, I finally told the clerk there at that location, I said, can you just order the darn thing and have it shipped here? So, that's the verdict. I'm having that shipped to the store, but I can't pick it up till 2:30 today. So instead of working on the rear differential, I'm gonna go ahead and get back on to cleaning. And you see me do this passenger side front tire. So I need to do the other 3 rims, and I need to clean the hood. So I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit because the hood's hot and the tires are probably a little warm too. I'll go ahead and eat me some lunch, and then maybe after lunch we'll do a little bit of cleaning on this thing. And then I'll have to go pick up that hex socket. So that's where we're at. All right, well, I had some lunch. Had some quesadillas. Fixed them in the air fryer. They're pretty good. But I just wanted to show you real fast on these wheels and using this Super Clean, that do it the same way as I showed you earlier. But what you can also do if you get in a situation where your rims have got excessive brake dust. I know this is a bad example because this tire doesn't look bad, but if you have excessive brake dust, what you can do is first wet the tire down like I showed you before. Spray the Super Clean on the rim, let it soak for 15 to 30 seconds or so, and then you can use a soft sponge. Don't use the coarse side, use the soft side. And you can take that and just go through there and loosen up that brake dust. And then just rinse the rim off and you'll be good to go. So I just wanted to share that with you, that is an option, and it works whenever the brake dust is really bad. So anyway, I'm gonna get the rest of these tires done and then go get that hex socket here in a few minutes. All right, well, I got the 4 tires clean with Super Clean. They turned out great. Check that out. That's the driver's side front. There's the driver's side rear. And of course, I was working on this a few minutes ago. So there's the other passenger side rear. And of course, you've already seen this one. But there it is, guys. I got all the wheels done. I haven't done the hood yet because it's just getting hot, and I'm gonna have to go pick up that socket here in about 10-15 minutes. So I guess I'm gonna stop right here and go get that, and then we'll reconvene. All right, guys, gals, just got out of O'Reilly, and we're good to go now. I've got the hex socket that I need. This little 3-piece set comes with a 14, 12, 14, and a 17. So I'm gonna be needing this one right here. So we're ready to go with the differential. So I guess let's get back to the house. All right, everybody, we're ready to go. I'm back to the house. And so I've got the rug laid out here, and I've already got my bucket under here, and I've got the new socket and everything ready to go, the 10 millimeter and the 14 millimeter. But first thing we're going to have to do is I really want to clean the outside of that cover where the refill is, and clean off all that gasket maker that they put on it before I loosen that and get that plug out. So that's going to be the goal right now, is clean that up, and then we'll go ahead and get that 14 millimeter refill plug. We'll get that out of there. So let me put you up on the stand and we'll get going. All right, fellers and fillettes, I got all of that gasket maker that was around the hex bolt. I got all of that off. So, well, not all of it, but the vast majority of it. So we're ready to loosen this thing up. And so hopefully this new, shouldn't take much. Yeah, there it goes. So I sprayed a little bit of WD-40 on it. So it looks like it's going to be coming out pretty easy. When I get the bolt out, I'll make sure and clean it up. So when we're ready to reinstall it, it's ready to go. So got the fill out, so now we know that we're going to be able to refill it, and that way we can get to the drain plug now. So we'll do that here in a second. All right, guys, I wanted to show you that the fluid level is full, so that's a good sign. And I've already seen it drip down. I've already seen the color of the fluid, and it looks fairly decent, so it doesn't look bad at all. So next step, we're going to have to get the drain plug out and get this fluid drained. All right, guys, so we're ready to get started here. Let's get this fluid drained. And I guess, let me wipe this down first. That wiped off so it won't drip all over the concrete. Trying to be neat about it. So I'm going to get this thing ready. All right. All right, so hopefully this won't be no big deal. Ooh, she tight, guys. I may need to get a bigger bar. Hang tight a minute. All right, I got me a different ratchet. Let's see if this will make a difference. Hopefully it will. There it goes. Popped loose that time. All right, so we'll get this thing drained here shortly. All right, I tell you what, let's get this bucket under here first. There we go. There we go, folks. Looks pretty good. So we'll let that drain. The magnet doesn't look too bad. There's the magnet. So it doesn't look too bad. It's got a little bit of stuff on it. But we'll clean that up and get her put back in, and we'll be good to go. All right. So I got the drain plug. I got it cleaned up. It's nice and clean. So we're going to use this Permatex thread sealant, and it's just a white thread. It's a low strength thread sealant. It'll just help for keeping that fluid from leaking out. But we've got close to 2 quarts. It's going to take 2 quarts to refill it. But I'm going to go ahead and get it cleaned up, and we're going to get this drain plug put back in. And I'm going to need, let me go get my paper towels here. Hold on a second. All right, guys, gals, I got the The drain bolt, I got it cleaned off. Magnets all clean. She's looking good. So we're going to put some of that Permatex white thread sealant, and I should have probably shook this thing up so that it's okay. Let's try this again. So there it goes. And then just spread that around it, around the threads. And that stuff will help seal it off. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get this put back in. I'm gonna clean the bottom off here. I'm gonna make sure that this is cleaned off and there's no debris. So we got that, and we're gonna put this dude back in. Just make sure you get it threaded right. And then we're just gonna snug it for now. And then let me go get my torque wrench. Okay guys, so I got my torque wrench out and I've got it set to 30 foot-pounds for the drain plug. So we're gonna get that. And I take my time getting there. I don't. Come on now. There it goes, right there. 30 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna let that sit. That way that that white sealant thread sealant that I put on there, use a little time for it to dry. And I'm just gonna clean the area up a little bit, and we'll put fluid in it here in a minute. All right, folks, I got the drain plug back in, and it's been, I give it about 30 minutes. I'll let that that thread sealant kind of sit and do its thing. So now we're ready to put new gear oil in the differential. And we're going to be using this Valvoline, and it's 75 W90, and that's what Nissan calls for the rear differential. So like I said, almost 2 quarts come out. The fill line is just right below the very bottom of your fill hole. It's actually about probably a 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch below the fill hole. So it requires around 1.6 quarts, I believe, just a little over 1.5 quarts. But we're ready to go ahead and put our first quart in. Now probably what I'll do is just put 1 quart in, and then make sure that drain plug is good to go. Now these are a little easier, and you'll see why I took that tire down earlier. Decided to do that, you know. But these are a lot easier to, hold on a second, something ain't right. I don't think it's, yeah, I didn't take the seal off of it. Gosh darn it, hold on. Okay, I got that one cut finally, so we can get this one put in. So like I said, we're gonna put this one in, and then after that, we're gonna make sure that it's not leaking. So, might take a little while, but one thing, the mosquitoes are out. They're already trying to gnaw on me, so I may put this one in and go inside and get a pair of sweats on my legs so they don't start eating on me. But it takes, I probably should have cut a little bigger hole. It's coming out kind of slow. So you just gotta be patient, you know. But these bags work better, I think, because you can really get it tilted up. And it was good getting that tire out of the way too, you know. So far so good. It's not leaking or anything, so we'll just let it do its thing and empty this bag. We'll have 1 quart in there. So we're getting there. It's getting closer. But yeah, they recommend you to do this every 30,000 miles. And of course, I'm doing it at 70. There we go. We just about got this quart in there. Yeah, I think so. That's it. That's all she wrote. All right, got the first quart in there. Now I gotta prep up the second quart and we'll top her off. Looks like no leakages. All right, folks, I'm back. I got the second quart ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and get it poured in. We're only gonna need about a half a quart on this deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my bucket in place so that it'll catch any spillage. But we'll just fill it until it tops off and we'll be good to go. But like I said, the fluid didn't look too bad, so pretty happy about that. But I'm glad I'm getting to it now, you know. But anyway, let's top this dude off and we'll be good to go. All I have to do is put the refill plug in, and I'll show you that here in a few minutes. It's nothing to it. Oh boy, it's sucking up. There we go. All right, we're officially full. So took about a half a quart. So that's it on that. So we got her filled back up. Let me work on getting this prepped up, the refill plug, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to clean this off, get everything nice and cleaned up, and I'm going to try to get this bucket out of my way a little bit here. And we want to make sure that the threads are dry of any of that oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean the threads really, really good. And try not to let any debris spill down into your new fluid. But I'm gonna try to clean that up the best I can. And then here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take some of this gasket maker and we're going to put it on the top or the back half of the bolt, and that's going to help seal it. So let me try to get it in a better angle here where I can put it on here. This thing is, there we go. So I'm going to put this around the perimeter of the back of the bolt, okay? Alright. And so it's kind of looks like that. You can see I've got it. You can see I've got it baked on there pretty good. So I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of clean it up a little bit. And that's really all you need. And you should be good to go. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get making a mess here. So we'll get her threaded in, and just be careful, make sure that you got it threaded in properly. And the reason you want to stay on the back side of the bolt is because you don't want it to get down into the oil, you know, and you want it to seal on the back side anyway. So we're ready to torque this dude. I've still got my torque setting to 30, but this one I'm gonna try. I may go back down to like 25 because I don't want this one to have any issues. Which it shouldn't. Alright, hold on a second. Okay guys, I put, I snugged it kind of hand tight first, and then I put some of that gasket maker around it, and now I'm going to torque it. I went ahead and come down on the torque setting to 25 foot-pounds. I feel like it's a safer yeah, I think that's perfect. 25 foot-pounds. I feel like you're really going to get, putting too much pressure on them threads if you go any harder. So that's done, guys. Let that sit, and I'm going to clean it up, and the mosquitoes are starting to come out, so I guess we'll call it a day, and we'll reconvene tomorrow. I want to show you a few things about the axle that you may not know. So anyway, we got the differential done. Good to go. Well, there's the trash guy. So it's Friday. So anyway, guys, it's the next morning, and it's about 10 a.m. I'm gonna get back out here and finish up today. So several projects coming to an end on the Frontier, but I wanted to show you something real quick, guys. First of all, the differential is finished, and as you can see, it used about, there's about 1.6 quarts that come out. You can see at the level here, it's just under 2 quarts. And so I set this bucket under here last night before I went to bed, or when I quit, and that way if it did leak, you know, it should come up, you know, the level would come up and I would know. So nothing leaked. We have no leaks, so we're good to go with that. And I just also wanted to show you on these rear axle, you see this right here? This is a vent, and it vents the axle. You know, as you're driving down the road, your gears and your axle heats up, and this thing here vents the axle so that it can release that heat and pressure. So here's the thing with this: if you're towing a boat and you get this axle down into the water's going to go directly in this vent, and it's going to get in your differential. So, you know, keep that in mind if you're towing a boat. You know, I always have a rule that when I back my boat into the lake, if my rear tires on my truck hit the water line, I've gone far enough. So I just kind of keep that the rule. But I wanted to show you that because I don't think many people know that. But just make sure it frees up, because apparently these will rust shut and close off. So you just gotta, you know, just twist it, make sure the cap's loose and is able to rotate around, and then you know it's getting vented. So I just wanted to share that. And let me get out from under here. So that's going to finish that job up. I've got to put the spare tire back up in position where it was at. And then I'm going to come over here today and finish up the hood. So that's where we're at. So let me get a few things done and I'll come back at you. All right, ladies and gents, I got the tire mounted back under the truck, so we're good to go there. So now it's on to the hood. All right, guys and gals, I got the truck parked under the carport, so I'd be out of the sun. So I also got all that gear oil from the rear differential. I got it put away. I just put it in an empty milk jug, right used on it. But I got my bucket here, and I just put some dishwash liquid and just some lukewarm water. And then I've got a soft sponge. I'm going to use the soft side, not the coarse side. So the first thing I'm going to do is wet this down. And I got the hose handy. I probably don't even have to really turn it on. Just wet it down. And then I'll take that sponge with that soapy water. And that should loosen all that up. You kind of, you know, with the paint, you don't want to use stuff that's going to be hard on the paint, so doing this will work really good because it's not real abrasive on the paint, and it gets all the dirt off, which is what you want. So I tell you what, guys, I'm glad I pulled under the carport because it's going to be another hot one. Be glad to get this done. Can move on to some other projects. So I guess I can take the time right now. Like, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. And go watch some of my older videos. I got some good ones out there. That one on the one I just did on the transmission is really good. So anyway, looks like I've got it pretty much all that dirt out of there with the, and I'm just using the soft side of the sponge with that dishwash liquid. And then now we're just going to rinse it off. And like I said, you don't really need a whole lot of water pressure to do it, you know, because you've already got it off of there. So anyway, I'm going to do this for the entire hood, and then we'll have this done. So, well, what's it look like I'm doing?
Spraying right in there. Why are you spraying right in there?
Because that's where dirt collects.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I'll come back, guys, whenever I get the entire hood done, and then we'll move on from there. What the heck is that? All right, ladies and gents, pulled the truck out from under the carport so it'd dry off. And I got the hood done, and she looks good. I do have a few spots where it's chipped, like right here and there. I'm gonna have to get one of those color pens and fix that. I think I got one right here too. And I think another one right there. And one right there. But other than that, it all looks really good. You can see how clean I got out from behind the bug grill. So I'm happy with that. So we was able to get all our little projects done on this truck. The agenda anyway. So I've got a few more things I need to do. I need to work on this tailgate, as I showed you earlier in the video. So I got to fix that, and I also want to work on these headlights and get this kind of fogginess away so they're a little more cleaned up. But other than that, she's got an oil change coming up that's due at about 500 miles. I think that's when I'm going to look at that serpentine belt. But that's going to do it for this episode of Hawks DIY. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next project.